What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be an exciting one. This is part 30 of the game development with Gemini and Unity series. And I can't wait to get started on this. And also, don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but there's a very exciting upcoming series after this one. And we're going to definitely build on top of this game on that series. But going to be a bit of a surprise. So don't want to spoil it, but stay tuned because there's a lot of exciting things to come. And on this one, we're going to make a lot of progress. Okay, so get ready for it. Just before we get into the meat of the video, a quick note here, the GitHub repo that we have for this project will have part 29 by the time this video is released. So if you want to follow along, build on top of part 29 because this is part 30. Just clone the repo and check out part 29 and start following along. And yeah, by the time you watch this video, of course, there might be a lot more parts to the project. So if you want to just follow along, check out part 29 branch instead of main and follow along with me. Okay. All right, so I got Gemini pulled up and I got my notepad pulled up as well. And there's going to be at least 5 things that we're going to tackle in this episode. And the last one's going to take most of the episode. Okay, so I am excited. Let's get started, guys. So, of course, we're going to start with a simple bug that I found while playing the game, and that is level 1 falling through, falling down the pit. Doesn't juice a hazard sound. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This bug is a simple bug, should be very quick fix. Okay, let's exit out of there, play the game. Let me just open up level 1. All right, and hit play. All off, no sound, right? So this is gonna be a very quick fix. Okay, and I think all we need to do here is stop the game first and then go to hazard, which is called what? Kill zone, and yeah, death sound is set to none. I will make this kill zone into a prefab, and I will select this prefab and set our death sound here. Okay, so the kill zone is selected, and I'll drag and drop the death sound right there. And hopefully that updated our hazard. Where is it? Kill zone. Okay, so that should have done the trick. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to save this, save level 1, and go to level 2. And I'll delete this kill zone we have, hazard script, right? So delete that and drop in the prefab instead. So the kill zone right there. Um, might have to do some adjustments. So let me just go back to the level 1. Um, save level 2, put the new kill zone in, and all I'll do is so x is 100. Again, these are some weird numbers I got going here. So set x is 0, y is -8. Does it need to be? Okay, yeah. So x is 0, y is -8, and the width is going to be 100, or the scale for x is going to be 100. So just going to repeat it on level 2. So save it. Kill zone. X is 100, y is 1. So all I should need to do is position. X should be 0, y should be -8. And we should be all set here. So let's see. Level 2, test it out. Sounds good to me. And then let's go to level 1, test this out. All right, so this bug has already been fixed. It was pretty quick and easy. So check. So the second thing I want to do is also going to be fairly simple, which is going to be tweaking these buttons we modified in part 28 or part 29 if you've seen the last episode, which is make the buttons slightly bigger vertically and align them more closer to the bottom, because a lot of the times I'd be tapping right around here on the screen and missing these buttons. So I think these are too high. So let's fix that real quick. Mobile UI canvas, mobile controls, and these are the buttons we have. So let me just zoom out a little bit. All right, and over here, left button, jump button, right button. I'll select all, okay, left and right first, and the height I will increase to 200. Jump button, I think just match the jump button. And the last thing I want to do is set the, modify the positioning there. So for position Y, should be, instead of 100, I'll do 50. So they're much closer. Maybe even I'll do 30 actually. So much closer to the bottom. And same thing here. Instead of 100, I'll do 30. Okay, so cool. I like this a lot better, and I think it's going to be much easier for me to press these buttons without missing them, with the buttons being so much closer to the bottom of the screen. So this was also a quick fix, but the one thing we need to do is just propagate the override to our master so that it moves on to level 2, right? So just make sure that change, yeah, of course we gotta save it and then move on to level 2. And seems like it did propagate, and we can see that even on level 2, the buttons are much closer to the bottom. All right, so again, very quick fix. All right, can you guess what the third thing we're going to tackle is? That's going to be something in our main menu here, just a little bit of polish, and that is going to be increase the title text size and add an outline. Okay, so this Gemio, I want to make this a little bit bigger so it looks much better, right? So Gemio width I'll increase by, I don't know, I'll probably do 900. Height, I'll do, I don't know, 300. Okay, so much bigger area. And then the font size, I will increase it to maybe 180. I like that. I like that. And maybe add some outline there. So outline, check. All I need to do is just add this check. Thickness, I can probably go down a little bit, 0.1. Color, maybe change it to something matching the buttons. So this color we got there, let's see how it looks. Vertex color is not what we were looking for, the outline color. Maybe a little bit something maybe darker. Yeah, this one's not bad, right? This one's looking good. This one I like even more. So I'll leave this color in, and I think it looks much better. What do you guys think? Should I bold the button texts we have? I think that would look much better actually. So let's try it. Yeah, look at that. Seems much more pleasing to the eye, in my opinion, of course. All right, and title text. Maybe I could decrease the height a little bit since it's touching this button. Again, not doing anything visually, but I want to keep things neat. So maybe 250. I like it. Okay, so start button, title text. I like this much more than how it looked before, so let me know if you're happy with the changes I made or if you like the old one better. Okay. All right, so three things tackled super fast here. We're making really solid progress. Okay, so the fourth thing is going to be something we build on from the last video. So if you haven't watched that, don't worry. You can still clone the repo, check out part 29, and then just fix this one little bit of code from the last part, which is part 28, which is defensive programming implementation in our coin pickup, I believe, script. Okay, so just to stay consistent with how our other scripts are, let me just make sure that we have oh, sorry, it's the double jump power up script, not the coin pickup. So double jump power up. Um, so if you remember from the last episode, if you have seen it, what did we do? Yeah, we added this icon at the top right. So if you go to level 2 now, scenes level 2, and you collect our power up, this guy, you can now see the icon there. Right, so this didn't used to be there before the last episode we made. So to do this, we just added this line of code in our double jump power up script right here. But I think um, on other scripts we have, and I'm just dragging and dropping the whole scripts folder here on Visual Studio Code. I think we did something like if game manager dot instance is not equal null, right? So this check, this is what I want to add into our double jump pickup script. So double jump power up script, I mean. So let me close out of the game, go to scripts, double jump power up, and over here, before we call this method, just add that line of defensive programming. Good habit in my opinion. If game manager that instance is not equal null, okay, then we call this function to enable double jump. Okay, save this. Just a simple check. You don't need to add this, but you know, defensive programming, if you remember from an episode a while back, let it compile. And one thing I just noticed is that the outline color that I just changed in the main menu caused it to also get changed here on our UI manager text objects and maybe also in our buttons here. You can see the red outline there. So I don't know why this happened. And if I change this color, see the score text is currently selected. If I change it here to something, it also changes everywhere. So I don't know if this is normal or what is going on. So this is where Gemini comes in, and let's see what's going on. Let's grab a screenshot. I got Gemini pulled up, pasting it in. I tried changing the outline color on one text mesh pro or text, whatever. Just it sounds terrible grammatically, but whatever. But it propagates to every single text objects in the game what's going on. Yeah, let's see. Is this something I did wrong, or is this a Unity quirk we need to be aware of? Hopefully, there's a way around it. But yeah, seems like super annoying thing to just classic text message pro shared material trap. Yeah, okay, you aren't doing anything wrong. This is just a specific quirk of how Unity's advanced text rendering works. At the very bottom of the inspector, you're editing the Liberation Sans SDF material. This is the master material asset for the entire font. By default, every single piece of text in your game using this font shares a connection to this exact same file to save memory. Okay. You're editing the master blueprint, so Unity immediately updates every object pointing to that blueprint. Change the outline on just one piece of text. You need to make a copy of that master blueprint. This is called the material preset. So let's just quickly follow through these because we have a lot to cover. So I'll try to be as fast as possible. In your project window at the bottom, navigate to assets and then Text Mesh Pro, resources, fonts and materials, and click once on the Liberation Sans SDF material. Liberation Sans SDF material. SDF drop shadow outline. We got 4 different ones, right? So, but this is probably the one, right? I don't have one that has the dash material in there, so I'll just get a screenshot of that. Let's see what's going on here. Liberation Sans SDF TMP font, temp font. Fallback. No, that's not what we want. Yes, I'll do the screenshot there. That should be in Text Mesh Pro inside Assets, Text Mesh Pro, Resources, Fonts and Materials. Yeah, I don't see one with the dash material, right? So I'll just do this. But if I had to guess, it's just going to be this one, right? So what is this file? Dot asset, asset, drop shadow. I'll skip the asking Gemini and just take a risk. So I am guessing it's this one. So select it, press Control D, duplicate it. Okay, outline, maybe this one? Outlined material, maybe. Now I'm confused. Okay, so instead of trying to be smart, I'll just let Gemini know there is no file. Okay. So it thinks we are not seeing it because we are using our File Explorer instead of inside Unity. Existing outline material. Okay. SDF. Okay. I'm just reading through this. You know what, guys? I think we might be overthinking this problem. So for this episode, I think I'll leave this and pick things back up in the next one if needed. But for now, we'll undo the duplication. Okay. Where is the fallback asset? So yeah, this is the duplicate. I'll just delete it. This is the one we just created. Okay, so I just deleted that font, and let me just turn on the game. Yeah, I don't really mind a bit of a red um, in our text there. It doesn't look that bad, honestly. So let's just leave it for now. We can fix that later because we have so much to cover in this one. Don't want to spend too much time um, working on a pesky bug there. That is not really that important. Okay, we can always get back to it. So the last thing here, this question mark is I want to, or this is actually going to be a question I'm going to ask. So should I create a sandbox scene? So this is going to be where we do all our development from this point onward. Instead of like developing things inside our level scenes, I'll just maybe have a clone of these levels and name it something like sandbox that we do not include in our actual build. So let me just ask Gemini, and that's going to be something we strictly use for development purposes. Um, okay, so let me just copy Gemini here. So I'll let them know. I'll hold off on this outline thing for now, since there's a lot of other stuff I want to tackle. Um, we'll get back to this later. For now, answer this. Should I create a sandbox scene instead of building new things in our level scenes? I want to have a sandbox scene for creating new implementations and then turn them into prefabs that we drag onto level scenes and not include the sandbox scene in the actual build. Um, okay, so I think it's pretty logical. But just want to make sure that I would think this is how normal development works. You have a bunch of sandbox scenes, you tuck things in, and then you don't touch your actual levels. Yes, absolutely. So this is one of the best architectural decisions I can make. Industry standard practice. All right, gyms or test beds or sandboxes, okay. Prefab pipeline, building a feature in the sandbox, turning it into prefab, and then dropping it in that prefab in the actual levels is exactly the way Unity is designed to be used. Cool. Guarantees that mechanics work globally, safe isolation. Um, okay. Don't have to worry about accidentally breaking your polished levels. Clean demos, having a dedicated, uncluttered environment is also extremely useful. Cool. All right, so a bunch of different positive aspects to this. The last one's also somewhat important, or very important actually, if you're making projects for Android, which is Unity will ignore it as long as you don't add it to your build settings list. So, that sandbox is not going to take up any space or memory in the final game. So all we should need to do is just create a new scene, throw down a flat floor or standard ground tiles. Nah, 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 nah. Whatever. We're not even gonna worry about all this. All I'm gonna do for that sandbox is duplicate our level 2 and rename this to sandbox, and that's it. Okay. So this is where we're gonna do all our testing for anything new we create. Okay. And moving forward, of course. So, is that it for this video? What do you guys think? Of course not. This is the final episode of the Gemini series, and we've come super far from where things started. If you go back to episode 1 and see what we created there to how much we've accomplished over just 30 episodes, which are more or less half an hour each, we've made a lot of progress. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to polish up our levels, and this is going to be probably something where you want to maybe play some background music and just watch me build things because I'm not going to be talking very much, okay? I'll just be polishing up my level in silence. So, You can choose to not watch the rest of the video if you want, because there's not going to be any teaching going on. I'll just be making these levels look pretty. Okay, so all right. So with that being said, just watch me build it. Just watch me build things out from here. Play some music, grab some popcorn. Also, another thing I should probably suggest you can do to make this more exciting to watch is just set the playback speed to 2x, right? So just watch me do this super fast. And if you have premium, I guess you can also do 3 times as fast. And just watch me build out these levels. By the way, this is where we left off on level 1, guys. If you've seen this video, this was our game. This was our game, and really proud of how much we have accomplished in such a short period of time. So again, set the playback speed to 2, grab some popcorn, play some background music, and I will shut up for now and just work on building this. Cool. So I got the level 1. It should be fairly simple in my opinion. I'll just delete these gold coins. There's a lot of gold coins here. Did I delete these? Probably not. What I'm going to do first is add a bunch of tiles actually to make this look much better than it does. Okay, so select 2. Yep. Hmm. Alright. I'm crazy with it. All wrong way to design things. You can just bring all the hard work we've done so far to fruition. Okay. Da, da, da. Just let the player move freely, run freely. Right. Cool. How big has it been? Maybe some nice jumping platforms here, or maybe even some. What about the other tiles we have? Let's see if there's anything that looks cool. I like we could probably use these for different levels in the future if we make them. Yeah, maybe these guys at the floating somewhat. Yeah, let's add these in. Yeah, let me just test something out. Let me test if the player can actually jump on this. Oh wait, we gotta fix something else before we can do that, which is gonna be our camera there. Camera inspector. This guy, I think. Camera bounds. Camera bounds. Added collider. Is it? I think. Is that what we need to? Kind of forgot. Let me see. Let me see. That's what we need to change. It might be. Might very well be. Yep, so yeah, we need to expand that collider there. Camera bounds. I wonder if we should turn this camera bounds into a prefab also. Okay, up until there, of course. And let's see. Could have just added some tiles at the beginning of the game. Oh man, too high anyway. Yikes. Alright, tile palette, let me delete those. Yeah, let me just add them at the beginning. I have some here. Okay, yeah. Undo. Cool. Just wanted to make sure it can actually land on them. Yeah, and then maybe another enemy somewhere. Should I add them here? Nah, I have like one long stretch of easy platform, so I have did I can't copy and paste these or select what is this? Move selection, select an area. Oh, okay, yeah, we can. Copy, paste. Wait. Guess you can't. Copy. I did a control C. Nah, control C, control V accomplishes nothing here, seems like. Move selection. Hmm. Wow, okay, so let's see. Let's try to use the fill tool. So select a bunch of these. Whoa, what the? That's not what I want. Damn. It looks like we don't have to be so tedious with this. Why is it flood fill with active brush? Flood fill, so it just fills the whole thing? Interesting. Anyway, well, we'll learn things as we go along. For now, I'll just use our classic ways of doing things. Okay, so I think I had these two, and then this guy, right? So this guy right here. Maybe make this even a little bit bigger up to here. Delete. Okay. And I'll drop the enemy somewhere around there. Control enemy. Okay. We're gonna have another moonwalker. And finally, okay, I gotta, before I get too excited, I gotta, yeah, you can just do one click and just drag. Cool. So at the edges. Right, and delete these. No, no. And maybe even drop a little spike. Or is that too much for level one? I think that might be too much for level one. Um, and finally have our trophy somewhere around here. Level one, so don't want it to be too difficult. All right, just move our goal. Where's the goal? Move this guy. All right. Should be here. And camera bounds. I can fix. Camera bounds, inspector, edit collider. We're gonna edit things out. This and this. Okay, now let me just drag a little bit. Okay, back to edit collider. And drag it all the way here. And here. Let's delete a bunch of things. Where's our eraser? Erase that. And gotta delete a bunch of our gold coins also. Yeah, all these too high. And maybe scatter a bunch of coins. So I'm gonna delete all the gold coins I have because these are just scattered all over the place. How about I create empty and gold coins throughout the level. I'll just make all the gold coins a child of this. So can I do that? Yeah, okay, there we go. Guess we have one still, so delete that one. It's to be an easier way of doing this, I'm sure. It's still not going to be perfect, of course. There has to be much easier ways of doing things. Probably going to be like, you know what? Why don't we try to make prefabs out of this? We could. I should probably theoretically do this in our sandbox environment, um, but I'll do it here because why not? Okay, so position x0, y0. And then this one should be -10, y also 0. Okay, -10 is too far, so -1 maybe. Okay, yeah, perfect. And negative, what is going on? -2, -2, y0. This one should be +1, y0, and +2, y0. And where's our gold coin? So this is going to be 5 coins. Let's name this 5 coins. Okay, so this should be our new prefab 5 coins. Maybe even name this 5 coins horizontal because we can probably also do 5 coins vertical, right? So delete this guy, 5 coins horizontal. And now we can just drag this much easier, right? So just have 5 coins here, and I'll have another 5 coins horizontal here. As long as the player can touch them, which I think it could be able to. Um, then should I also add some here maybe for some challenge? This is so much easier than than the tedious way we were doing things earlier. Add a bunch of coins here. Right, and for this one, I want to make another one actually. So for this one, I'll do the center one. Y is going to be 2, and the left one, Y is going to be 1. Maybe that might be 2. Instead of 1, I'll do Y 0.5, right? And this is going to be -2, so so 0, 0.5, and this should be 1. It's gonna be a bit of a like a curve, so this one should be again 0.5, and this one should be 0. So I like this. So this one I'll name 5 coins horizontal curved. I know that's probably a terrible name. So we'll turn this into a prefab. Cancel. 5 coins horizontal curve. Just drag and drop. Would you like to create a new original prefab or a variant of the existing prefab? Variant of. Well, I don't know what that means. Hmm. I mean, we can always undo it, right? So let's try that. This is a variant. Huh. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't want a variant. What just happened? I'll delete this. And I'll turn it into a prefab. So this should be an original one, horizontal curve. Um, I'll go from here to there. Looks much nicer, my opinion. And then add some more horizontals here. What are we at? We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 coins so far in this level. And I'll remove the spike trap from here because it's like at the very beginning of the level. So just have a nice and easy start to the level and encounter spikes a little bit later. So let me just go here, add the spike in. Okay. And of course have some coins up here. Keep saying coins, or these are oranges. Again, if you missed the video where we talk about this, reason we have coins instead of, or oranges instead of coins is because the art we imported didn't have coins in it. So I'm not a big orange fan to be adding them instead of coins. Um, all right, what else do we need? More coins for sure. Okay, so add some in here. And maybe another curve at the very end. Is there a keyboard shortcut for these? So tedious, I hate it. Right, just drops you straight into the trophy, which I don't want to do actually, because let me just add some additional slots there and move the trophy a little bit. What are we at on time? Almost an hour, so It's a long episode. Where's the reward? Control enemy background. Camera. Level goal. I keep forgetting. I'm like searching for trophy, but trophy's not the name. Let it be here. And let's see if we can play the level. Before we do that, camera bounds. Yeah, we need to expand it slightly. Edit collider. Go to the edge. Okay, right up to here. All right, let's take this for a spin. That is so much fun. Perfection. Okay, now don't want to make this longer than an hour, so I'll try to be quick, but let's just quickly do our level 2. Should we, or should I do another episode for it? Nah, I wanna get done with the Gemini series on 30 videos, so let's not, right? Let's not. Okay, so let's make sure I saved the level 1. Yep, thank God. So this one should also do the same thing, more or less. Where's our stuff at? Camera, camera bounds. All right, so camera bounds. Okay, so for this, oh no, that's not what I want. Okay, so building out level 2. First things first, what is this? Transform tool. First things first, I'm gonna work on the camera bounds. I'm gonna redo the whole thing here, basically. So, how do I want to do this? Camera bounds. Maybe I'll just sketch out the level first. Sure. There's the hazard, kill zone. Okay, so it goes well past the tiles we have. So stare at the very edge there. Tiles. Let's make this more interesting. To get to the double jump power up, I'll have to make this more challenging. Can we jump 2 tiles high? That's not what I want to test. Let's add it, maybe 1 tile, 2 tile, 3 tiles. Okay, here. We can't jump more than 1 tile high, so that's not gonna work. Delete and one tile. And from here, you gotta go here and here. It's not gonna make it easy, guys. Make it challenging. And maybe another platform. And you'll get why I'm making these just in a second. Move this. Use your creative freedoms. You don't have to copy anything. And this is where I'm gonna put the double jump power up. Where is it? Double jump power up. I'll delete all the gold coins, okay? Don't need these. Boom. And power up is gonna be up here. But you don't have to. You could collect that power up, and since it's only level 2, I'll just make it decently easy. See, now camera bounds. And our player. I want to be able to see that right off the bat, so I'll make it even more challenging. The eraser. Let's go. Then have one more there. From there to here. So I'll put it there. Okay. Okay, move the double jump. Not even, right? We'll do like more challenging. We're gonna do it here. If you really want it, we gotta jump for it. And just to add some challenge, maybe we're gonna drop a spike trap. Prefab spike trap. Right where you're gonna land. So be careful. Camera bounds should probably go higher. Edit collider needs to at least cover the whole area. And I'll increase the background height also. Height should be, I'll do 30. Yeah, so we're covering the whole thing. Okay, and then once you get that double jump, I'll make something super boring and then tweak from there. Scene, tile palette here, all the way to the end. I'll just make this. Okay. There's another spike trap. I think I might have buried it somewhere. Okay, so of course it's not going to be this lame. I'm just doing like a so width. I'll do maybe one, maybe 200. Have a bunch of extra space. Um, and I'll have wonder if we can move everything. Tile palette, select everything from here to here. And move. Yes, cool, exactly what I wanted. Select, move. Ooh, where's our hazard? Kill zone. Yeah, kill zone needs to be wider, so I'll do scale. 200, maybe even more. I'll do 250. Camera bounds. Add a collider. All right. And we'll add our boring tiles all the way through to the end. Okay, so these guys. Just so we have a reference point. Careful with these though. Maybe up to here. And release a bunch of them. Okay. Building this is kind of fun, but also kind of boring. I feel like it should have been its own episode because it's getting kind of long, but we shouldn't be more than 10, 15 minutes from now. Oh, so I'll have a bunch of little maybe blockers like this, and add some grass on top. I know it looks kind of weird. Let's see. How about these ones? This looks even worse. So maybe add this. And I wish we had like complete tiles that looks better, but I guess this is the best we're gonna get. Move this moving platform a little bit. Where is this? I guess this is not the moving platform. It's our tiles. Where is our moving platform? There it is. Okay, so got some spikes there. Let's drop some enemies. Where is our patrol enemy? Right here. What if we have two next to each other? And a spike. He gets stuck. Nah, so we can't put two next to each other. Um, and for that reason, I will have to do this. I'll add a blocker. Okay, and more blockers. This is going to be a spike trap. No, not what I want. Drag, spike trap, there. It's going to be a danger zone. So be careful. And then this is going to be all spikes here. Okay, so we should probably make spike trap prefabs as well. So why don't we do that? Instead of the manual ones, of course. We're gonna have the 0. This is where did it go? 0, Y, 0. Okay. I'll move the moving platform out of the way. Spike trap 2, spike trap 3. So position X0, Y should be 1, or X should be 1, and Y should be 0. What? Oh, okay, there we go. So you got 2 next to each other. X should be 2, Y should be 0. And for this, I'll do -1, Y 0. And -2, Y 0. So create an empty object. Let's say 5 spikes, horizontal. Of course, spikes are probably going to be always horizontal, so I'll just name it 5 spikes. And turn that into a prefab. And then we'll delete the 5 spikes. And I'll drop this here. Hopefully. Yeah, okay, sound is there. Cool. That's what I wanted to check. All right, and let's get rid of those there. Where is our player, by the way? Player should be all the way to the. And so here, we're going to begin the game. Okay, see? Where's our power up? What just happened? Where's our double jump? Power up. Okay, right there. We gotta move it. Okay, and we need a spike under it. Just for the challenge, just for the fun. And I have a bunch of floating platforms. Since you have the double jump, if you don't collect the double jump, you're gonna miss out. So 5 coins. This 5 coins. 5 coins are too much, actually. I'll need 3 coins for these. 5 coins horizontal. So yeah, let's make the 3 coins ones. Create empty. And we'll drop some gold coins in there. Nah, not there, baby. Here. What is it named gold coin? We need a different name for it. All right, and position x0, y0, z0. This should be x1, y0, and x -1 should be renamed to 3 coins horizontal. Put in and delete the 5 coins one. I should be worrying about coins later, but you know, there's no rules, right? We can make our own stuff. So right. Got another bad boy over here. Right. Me too, just to stay consistent. Where's our well, this level looks pretty big, but anyway. So let's add this in there. And what is it looking like? Ooh, and this one, should I drop another? Maybe I'll move this guy over there. Give our player some breathing room. And this video is getting really long, so I'll wrap this up quick, okay? Don't worry. Uh, yeah, grab some 5 coins here. All right, and now yeah, this is getting too long, so I'll wrap this up quick. So now what we're going to do is basically just fix the moving platform. So empty game object one, let's see where it is. You want the moving platform to be from here to here, and this is probably where I will wrap up the level. Okay, so moving platform, the game object, moving platform. They're right next to each other. Okay, and maybe add some ground over there. And so once you jump on that moving platform and you get to the here, this is where I will set the coins, or not the coins, but it's gonna be the trophy, right? So a bunch of those in. Delete and add in our level goal. Where is it? Level goal. All right, so pretty close. Okay, so here's going to be our trophy. And let's do the camera bounds. Wow, it covers almost exactly up to the point I need it to cover. So yeah, ooh, now just some coins. Be very generous with our coins. Add some fives in there, some fives in here. And this could be like one of these ones. Put in some threes, some fives. Since hopefully you're going to have some double jumping abilities. And maybe add a bunch of threes over here as you go up. So from there, you're going to go there. So I'll add a bunch of threes along the route. Hopefully you can just catch them as you go. And so this is where you're going to be ending up. All right. And the bottom, I will fill with spikes. My question is, where are the spikes? Not centered. We can tackle that in another episode. But for now, the bottom is going to be covered in spikes. And if you really want to go down this path, you should be able to collect some coins out for your efforts. So delete that. Add in. Nah, I think that's overkill. Let's give it a shot. I don't know. stuck at my own game. Okay, avoid that spike. Oh man. And did I make it too difficult? Might be too difficult. This is not easy. Yeah, I cannot just jump on top of it. We gotta fix that. Right. Come on, come on. Gotta fix how far it goes. So the only thing I need to fix is this second object. Yeah, we should just do up to here. No more. So there to there. All right. Thanks for watching. I will build this and I will play it on my phone. And I welcome you to clone this repo and try it out yourself. All right. See you in the next one. It's going to be exciting, I promise.